Candy. No, unfortunately I won't be making anything sweet or even edible today. Imagine those friendship bracelets you made with your best friend as a kid. Had a culture around it. Well, it does. This culture derives from ravers, but it's slowly made its way into the modern day and has become popular among social media. Today I'll be going over the origin and rules of candy, showing you my process, and finally the benefits that this culture and this art form can have. The origin of candy started in the late 90s, popular amongst ravers. The colorful, bright accents just added extra to the outfit and included people in a place that was already high energy and excitement. However, soon after the popularity spiked, candy was banned from raves due to possible drug concealment. Despite this, candies continued to spike in popularity and eventually has become popular enough to have stores online and even sold in places like Hot Topic and Claire's. When it comes to the culture around candy, according to EDM Identity, the most popular thing and most important thing to be smart about is when it comes to trading. Trading has some rules around it, of course, as does every trade. When you initiate a trade, you don't just walk up to anyone. You observe their arms. For example, any candy worn on the right arm is free to trade. However, anything on the left is off limits. This could be something that's been traded to them, a personal gift, or even just pieces they like. Now, when you do trade with somebody, you don't get to pick what bracelet you get, unfortunately, because it can come off as rude or even just like a beggar. And finally, you don't trade bracelets that have been traded to you. It's a huge sign of disrespect to the original person who created your bracelet. Next, I'm going to show you some pieces I have formerly made, as well as show you how I start my cuffs. There are multiple kinds of different candy. There's singlets, which are usually just a single row of beads with a word. They usually don't have to have words. As you can see, I have this one, which says tax evasion, and this one, which says WLW, which is women loving women. I've created both of these to kind of just represent who I am. Some of my longer pieces have been cuffs, which are multiple layer bracelets, sewed together in a pattern. So these can be multicolored or have words sewn on and done in any size. They usually take from 3 to 5 hours to complete, depending on how many rows. One of my favorite pieces I've made have been belt chains. By adding hooks to the end or keychains to the end, I'm able to pin them onto any belt I wear. And finally, my piece that took the longest time and the most effort is my face mask. This is not a face mask you can wear out, but you can add cloth on the inside to make it a wearable face mask. This took me about 6 hours to complete. People have eventually started moving on from bracelets and belt chains and masks to even creating things like clothing, shirts, skirts, purses even. Anything you can imagine can be made by candy. Now, I start off with a singlet, and my string is about an arm's length, as it gives me a lot of room to work with before running out. And if I do run out, more can be added on eventually. After I cut off the excess on the other side, the end is pulled through the first bead, just like so. There's a point where candy becomes personal. Whenever I make friends candy, I like to ask them to give me 3 colors and a word. Most of the time I don't specify that it's candy, but it always comes out unique. If you're gonna make candy, don't be shaky like me. My favorite string to work with is this clear string because it makes the final look more clean. Now, as you make your double, you're going to loop your string through the first bead and add 3 beads onto the string before skipping 3 original beads and pulling your string through the 4th bead. You'll continue this all around the bracelet until you have a double. Now you can add as many rows as you'd like to this, and it creates a pattern that looks something like this. Almost like a spider web. Now what exactly can making this art form benefit you? Well, Kandy is built around the idea of plur, which stands for peace, love, unity, and respect. By living a life built on love and respect, and interacting with others who also live based on that love, respect, and unity, we can create a world of acceptance. Kandy is not just being creative and adding a bunch of colors together to make your outfits pop. It's also about being able to express yourself and support others in expressing themselves as well. Today I went over the origin of Kandy, the rules of it, how I get started on my process, and how exactly plur can benefit your life. Now I encourage you all to pick up this extremely fun hobby. I've learned so much about myself through this, and I've been able to give all of my friends a very personalized gift. Thank you so much.